Hi, mates, parents. My name is Michelle Colon, and I'm your child's teacher for computer science this semester. So, a little bit of a background on myself. This is my 18th year of teaching and my 16th year here at MATES. I went to NJIT for my bachelor's degree in computer science, but soon decided that I didn't necessarily want to stick in that industry and wanted to go into teaching instead. So I went through the state alternate route program for my teaching certificate. And then later on, I went back to Rutgers University for my master's in pure math. And so I've taught the computer science class on and off throughout my time here at MATES. And I will also see your child again in calculus in the spring, but hopefully by then we can have an actual back to school night and I don't have to record another video here. So beyond work, I live here in Manahawkin with my husband and my 11-year-old son who keeps me very busy. And right now I'm going to walk you guys through some of the things that we'll go over in the course and what we do on a daily basis here. So let me fire this up here. All right, so computer science. So computer science, generally when you talk about computer science, you talk about code. So that is the focus here, but computer science does include more than that. So right now, we're only a week into school here, and we've been going over the different components of a computer, how computers are networked together, some of the current events going on in the technology sector. And we haven't, as of my recording, even started doing any code yet. But soon enough, we will start to do some code, and then that will be the focus of our course here. And so we use two programming languages in this course, Java and Python. We start off with Java because that is a more structured programming language than Python is. So it's a good language for beginner programmers to learn. It's also very powerful, so it's a great programming language to know. A lot of the words match up well to our English language as well too, so as a beginning programmer, it's not too hard to understand some basics. So probably around mid-December, we'll switch gears and do Python for the last few weeks of the course. Python is a much less structured language. It has, arguably more powerful features than Java, and definitely you can write less lines of code in Python to do the same job in Java, but it's definitely something that you want to have some background knowledge of programming in general before you move into that. Both of these languages are kind of the industry standard for colleges and the intro to computer programming classes that your child might have to take in the future, because definitely, a lot of the majors that our students here at MATES go into, engineering disciplines, science disciplines, there's usually some type of intro to programming class that they'll have to take. So hopefully, if they have that on their schedule next year, having taken this course, they'll be pretty comfortable with whatever they need to do. So some of the units that we'll take a look at right now, we're in computer systems. And like I said, learning about the components inside the computer that make it all work. We'll look at object-oriented programming, which is our Java programming language. And throughout that, we'll see, what does it mean to be an object in computer code? How do they interact together? How can we apply behaviors to objects? And then formal logic, how do we get the computer to make decisions for us the proper way? So on any given day in class, what are some of the things that we do? Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we look at 2 to 3 current event articles from the technology sector. Today that I'm recording this is Monday, September 14th. So today we discussed how Apple this week is having an event where they are going to discuss their new products. So we talked about some of the updates that might be coming to the Apple Watch and the iPad. No iPhone yet. That might be out in a couple more weeks. So every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we'll discuss different current event articles with that, just so that the students know what's going on in the technology sector, because there's a lot in computing. Like I just mentioned, Apple, our smartphones, our smartwatches, they're just computers in disguise. Once we get into the programming languages, the bulk of our class periods will be lab time for the students to write their own code, test their code, inevitably run into errors in their code and try to find them. And so I'll be helping them through that, trying to find their errors, trying to clean up their code. But really that lab time is for them to, process, this new language that they're learning and to practice it. Exploration, if time permits, we'll have time to go into some, extra types of topics. And of course, along the way, this course is reinforcing their critical thinking skills, because in order to write good code, you have to be precise with your instructions and think ahead to what your output will be. For the grading procedure, I use a point system. So homework is usually about 4 points, quizzes about 50, and tests about 100. And so we just keep a running tab of how many points they could have earned versus how many points they did earn versus how many points they could have earned, and divide to find their percent. And I think you've probably, as senior parents, you've seen this system before. Right? So I don't do categories. So when you do log into Portal to look at grades, the category averages do not matter. You just want to look at the top of your screen for their overall average. And so for this class, we're using Google Classroom. The students are already set up with their accounts and have access. And for those students working remotely, we meet on Google Meet every day. So they have access to that on their own. So if you guys need to contact me at all, please at any time feel free to email me at mcolon@mail.ocvts.org, or you can call my phone. I'm extension 4021, and you can leave a voicemail and your callback information, and I'll be happy to get back in touch with you. So if there are any questions that I didn't answer tonight in this video that you were wondering about, just feel free to touch base with me and I'd be happy to talk to you. So take care and have a great night.